3-0 to Manchester City. Haaland scored again. Wolves don't score again at home in probably the least surprising result I've seen in my life. And it's actually kind of split people. I was surprised when I went on Twitter at half time how many people were quite negative about the performance. Um, I think obviously, look, I think it's more of an accumulation, right? That I don't think that performance against Man City was actually that bad. We played a 5-4-1 last season against Man City and got smacked up. I think we've had worse games against big sides. I don't really think this individual performance is the issue, as much as some people say it is. I think it's just an accumulation of results, right? People are looking there and going, we spent a lot of money, and on paper, this is our best squad. We should be higher in the league. And I get it. I thought the lineup was a bit bizarre. I was very surprised that Nelson Semedo didn't play. But this was basically the same lineup we played against Tottenham. Um, and I thought we were going to play a five at the back. I mean, people were telling me on Twitter against Tottenham we didn't play a five at the back. It was a five at the back against Tottenham. And I actually thought it worked quite well. And I'm surprised he actually, tried to compete directly against Man City. I kind of respect it. I kind of respect you when, what, fuck it, we're going to try and outplay them to a certain extent. Look, it didn't work out. We conceded after a minute. We got a shock red card and, we kind of got put in a horrible situation. But I think now, obviously, we've got the international break. We've got 2 weeks off. I think people are going to start to assess the season. That happens a lot. You assess the season in chunks, and I think a lot of people are starting to question Bruno's job now. I can understand why. I wouldn't sack Bruno Lage personally, but I'm going to be totally honest with you. If Bruno Lage got sacked tomorrow, if I went on Wolves Twitter tomorrow and the Wolves Twitter account put out a statement saying Bruno Lage got sacked, I don't know about you lot, I wouldn't be asked. If I'm being totally honest with you, I wouldn't be bothered. I have no connection to him on a personal level. I don't mind him, but I've got no affinity to him. And the first thing that would come into my mind is, oh, who's the new manager going to be? I'm excited. And to play devil's advocate, and to be fair to Bruno, at the start of the season, we all said we didn't want to play defensive football anymore. We all said we wanted to play a 4-3-3. We all said we wanted to kind of, try and play attacking football. And we all said that would take time. We all said Bruno needs to be backed. And to be fair, the defence is still there, and it's very early on. But ultimately, as good as the squad is, it's got holes. But Bruno's got to deliver at some point. You can't just keep saying, "Oh, well, maybe it will happen next week. Maybe it will happen next week." So I understand why the pressure's there. I'd give him till the World Cup personally. I think I'd be stunned if we got relegated. I think at worst we'll probably finish 15th. So I'd just give him until the World Cup. But look, if Wolves have like another manager out there that they think can do a better job, then they can do it if they want to. But I don't think this squad is as good as people make out it is as a whole. Like the fact that when Nathan Collins got sent off, Ruben Neves played the whole game at centre back. By the way, he was really good. I actually thought he was really good at centre back, Ruben Neves. But the only reason he's doing that is if Willy Bolly was still on the bench, he would have came on, wouldn't he? The reason he's not brought him on is because he's got Totti Gomez and Jason Busquera there. And that's not an insult to those guys. But I think, there's this myth that we've got this incredible squad. It's the best squad we've had in years. Maybe, but we've got 3 senior fullbacks, and Johnny's got an injury record. Ain't Nuri's got an injury record, and Semedo was injured for 4 months with a hamstring injury. We've got 2 senior centre backs, and as much as I love Nathan Collins, I think he's had a really good start. That red card shows he's not as senior as we make out. He's only played like 30 senior games. Max Kilman was a futsal player 4 years ago and was barely a first team player. And we're playing a midfield 3, and we've only got one backup midfielder who's competent. And we don't have a striker, so. That's the opposite side to it. If we sacked Bruno Lage and brought in another manager, would anything really change? It's still going to be Daniel Podence up front or Guedes up front. It's still going to be the same midfield 3. We're still only going to have 2 centre backs. We're still going to have 3 fullbacks. I don't think anything's really going to change. And so for that argument that people are saying we should sack him, I understand why. Especially the people that go to the game every week and pay their money. I understand why they're frustrated. I wouldn't sack him, but if I woke up tomorrow and he got sacked, I wouldn't be asked. But I just think, and it's the best time to sack him now if you want to do it, because it's the international break and there are some decent managers available out there. But I just think it'd be very harsh to sack him off the back of that Man City game. I actually thought we played all right. I understand why people are a bit frustrated, but you see like the old school Wolves journalists being like, we didn't compete. It was embarrassing. It's like, was it? I thought we were all right. I think in the end we had Man City had 59% possession. We played again. We had 10 men for the majority of that game, and we actually held the ball quite well. We played some risky passes. It didn't always work out. I mean, of course, we got exposed at times, but I think a lot of us are so used to Nuno and defensive football and having such a good defense that now all of a sudden we're starting to get exposed a bit more. Kind of like the majority of Premier League sides. It's a bit of a shock to us, and we're like, what? We're getting done on the wings and like whatever. That's going to happen when you don't have a back 5. Like you are going to get exposed a bit. And I thought there were positives in that game. I thought Reina Nuri had a really good game, especially in the second half. I thought Kilman stepped up in the second half. I thought Neves was pretty good at centre back. Nunes probably had his best half in that second half, where he was really good. Guedes had a decent first half. I thought Bukayo Traore had a decent impact when he came on. It was good to see Chem Campbell get some minutes, but I don't really know. At the start of the season, everyone was excited. Then we had the bit of the panic. Then we had a good end to the window, and now I don't really know what the plan is. I can understand why people are frustrated, but I don't really know what the long-term plan for this side is. Or at least that's how it feels. I'm sure there is one, but I'm struggling to see it right now, and there's nothing to really get excited about. The defence is only going to get worse given our fixtures. The midfield, I don't really see much scope for improvement because we don't have any depth. And as funny as the Diego Costa signing's been, I don't really see a scope there. Like, if Diego Costa comes in and scores 5 goals, I'll be absolutely stunned. So it does. And now obviously we've got 2 weeks where we're just going to have to sit on this result. So it is frustrating. But I think if you want to sack Bruno Lage based on the whole year and a half, fine. But I think if you want Bruno Lage sacked purely because we've lost 3-0 to Man City, I think that's a bit of an overreaction. But it does feel like we're at a crossroads right now where I don't really know where we're going. And I think if you said to me, are Wolves more likely to get top 10 right now or finish 15th, I'd probably put more money on 15th. And as much as I think that the squad's lopsided in a lot of areas and there isn't enough depth, that squad should still be doing a bit better. So, yeah, I'm kind of mixed on it. Feel free to tell me I'm chatting shit. If you want Bruno out, fine, but I'd give him till the World Cup. But if you want him sacked, that's their choice. Fans have a right, and it's been a year and a half now. It's not like he hasn't had time. But yeah, I don't, just purely on the game, I don't actually think we were that bad. And I think if we do stick with Bruno, we'll be fine. But it's football and it's a results business, and the results haven't been good enough. And we've got a tough fixture list coming up, and in a week or two's time we could be in the relegation zone. So yeah, if you enjoyed the video, subscribe to the channel, like the video, and yeah, peace.